ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदा सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं तारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। So Hare Krishna. So nice meeting you again after a long time. And today I feel it is my fortune, that I am going to talk on this Chandan Yatra, and also a bit on Akshaya Tritiya, because tomorrow, as per Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar, we have Akshaya Tritiya starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is Akshaya Tritiya, and Chandan Yatra starts tomorrow. Okay, and many people celebrate Akshaya Tritiya today, right? So our Vaishnava calendar is one day later, similar to Janmashtami, right? Many times in our home, Janmashtami is one day earlier in our family, and next day, as Vaishnavas, we celebrate the next day, the Janmashtami, as per the Vaishnava calendar. So, what I will be talking, Chandan Yatra is a yatra where we apply Chandan to the body of Krishna or Gopal. And it goes on, starts at Akshaya Tritiya and goes on for 21 days. You apply Chandan. So, it's a wonderful festival. And festivals are meant for what? For the pleasure of Lord, right? And what else? What happens in festivals? Why do we celebrate festivals? So many festivals are celebrated here. We celebrate so many festivals here, right? So what happens in festivals? Wow. So that's, yeah, correct. You get to dress up well, eat wonderful prasad. Prasad is always fantastic in festivals, right? And after all, without after the lecture, if there is no prasad, then who will come for the lecture, right? So, yes. So we get to dress up and have festival. But what else? Why do we celebrate festivals? Huh? For the भक्तों के आनंद के लिए, हाँ, भक्तों के आनंद के लिए, भगवान के आनंद के लिए, to glorify the Lord and to glorify the devotees of the Lord. And mainly when devotees come together in glorification of the Lord, what happens? wonderful relationships develop between them, with Krishna in the center. So I have traveled abroad many times. So I've gone to Tokyo. I didn't know anyone. And the minute I met there a devotee called Sanjay Karanjia, he was a vice president in a bank. Next day, we are like best friends. Why? Because Krishna was in the center. And he was telling me, I will give you dabba, don't eat outside, and all that. He was volunteering all that. We had hardly met. First time we met, and we became the best of friends. Why? We discussed Krishna Katha. We went to Japan Tokyo temple. It was beside a graveyard. You had to pass through a बाजू में graveyard था उधर से जाके फिर वो basement में building में but I had a good time in Japan because we had devotees. So when devotees come together doing Sankirtan, glorifying the Lord, what happens? Lord becomes pleased, huh? The acharyas become pleased, and we get their mercy, and we develop good relationship, Vaishnava relationships, right? So today, what we are going to cover is the topics which are there. Yeah. Okay, so we'll speak a bit on the significance of Akshay Tritiya, and then we'll go to the main topic, which is Chandan Yatra and the Lila of Chandan Yatra, which is there in Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Lila, Volume 1, Chapter 4. It's called the devotional service of Madhavendra Puri. So, this wonderful Leela of Chandan Yatra is there in this chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And who is there talking about this Leela of Madhavendra Puri? None other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is talking about this Leela to Nityanand Prabhu. Krishna is talking about this Leela to Balram, saying this wonderful devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, I have learned from Ishwara Puri, my spiritual master, about his pastimes here. So we have the fortune that tomorrow is Chandan Yatra starting. Tomorrow is Akshay Tritiya, and many people are celebrating Akshay Tritiya today. And we are able to hear about this so that we can participate in this pastime very nicely. So today I'll be talking about Akshay Tritiya, Chandan Yatra, and then how do we celebrate Chandan Yatra, right? That's the most important. How do we gain the maximum devotional credits from it? So I'll start with Akshay Tritiya. Akshay Tritiya is considered to be a very auspicious day. And what do we do that day? All women will know that. क्या करते हैं हमको मेरे माँ को भी मालूम है सबको मालूम है क्या करते हैं हम लोग हाँ we buy gold, yes. So gold, what is that? There is nothing like gold, so we buy gold, yes. But the more important is that in Akshay Tritiya what we are expected to do, we are expected by the Shastras to do devotional service and a lot of charity, at least some charity. It is said that even a little bit of devotional service or charity done on this day gives inexhaustible results. Inexhaustible means they will never exhaust. Huh? So if you do some devotional service, you will get a lot of credits of devotional service. If you do some charity, you will get a lot of credits which are inexhaustible. So what is the meaning of Akshay? Akshay means immortal, eternal, or indestructible. So tomorrow, we can basically what we have to do. I'll tell later. But basically, whatever we do tomorrow, a devotional service and charity, you will get a lot of benefits. Many times it is said in the Shastras that you can take a bath in the holy rivers. You can do chanting. You can do devotional service. And also, what you can do is offer food items of barley. Barley is jevu in Hindi. Or it is, what is it? Millet. Yeah, Modi is now talking about millets, right? Nowadays. Millet. India is all talking about millets, very healthy. So that dishes you can offer to the Lord. So the significance of Akshay Tritiya, I'm going to read it because a lot of things are there. First is the Chandan Yatra starts. Then Parshuram, the incarnation of Vishnu, he appeared on this day. Parshuram, he came, appeared to do what? Kill all the Kshatriyas. सब क्षत्रियास का संहार करने, because क्षत्रियास का बोझ, the earth was not able to lift. They are not able to take the weight of Kshatriyas. So Lord comes to destroy the Kshatriyas or the bad elements among the Kshatriyas, of course. So then this is the day of where the Treta Yuga began. The Treta Yuga also began this day. This is the day when when the barley, jehu, which was used in all homes in Treta Yuga, you could achieve the Lord by doing yajnas, big big yajnas. So the main ingredient for the yajnas was this barley. So this barley also appeared, was created on this day. Hmm. Then Ganga Devi, hmm, she appeared on this day, which is Akshaya Tritiya. Then Draupadi and the Pandavas were gifted the famous Akshay Patra on this day. So everyone knows the story of the Akshay Patra. Yeah, what is the story? Yeah, so by Akshay Patra, when Pandavas had to go in the forests or out of the kingdom, then they were under worry that how will they feed the Brahmanas? So Sun God, by Krishna's mercy, Sun God gifted them the Akshay Patra, by which they could feed as many people as possible. Hmm. And finally, when Draupadi ate and it turned the Patra like this, then they could not, the Akshay Patra would not produce any food. And that is the Lila of Durvas Muni and all that. Then, so this Akshay Patra was gifted on this day. Then Sudama visited Krishna in Dwarka on this day, Akshay Tritiya. And Ved Vyas compiled Mahabharat on this day. Hmm. Kubera got his wealth on this day. Hmm. Goddess Annapurna appeared on this day. Hmm. And main, and another 2 months' time, we have the famous Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. So the making of the Jagannath chariots starts on this day, Akshaya Tritiya. Hmm. And Srila Prabhupada, our own Srila Prabhupada, he formed the League of Devotees in Jhansi on this day in this year 1953. Hmm. So this day is very special. So we can remember all this when we celebrate Akshaya Tritiya tomorrow. Hmm. So now we are going to speak a bit on this Chandan Yatra, or that's the main theme of this today's session. And whenever there is a Leela of the Lord, any Leela, most of the times, who is the hero? Huh? Krishna. Okay, who is the hero? In the Leela of Narsidev and Prahlad Maharaj, yeah, Krishna is there, always there. But who comes out as the hero? Prahlad, right? Krishna always glorifies Prahlad. In Ram's Leela, who comes out as the hero? Hanuman. In Vamandev's Leela, who comes out as a hero? Huh? Bali Maharaj, right? His surrender, and we glorify Bali Maharaj, and the classes on Bali Maharaj. Of course, Vaman Dev is there; he is always there. Krishna is always the hero, but Krishna glorifies his devotees through his lila. So, similarly, in this lila of Chandan Yatra, the person who is glorified is Madhavendra Puri. So, we are going to speak a bit about this Madhavendra Puri. This Chandan Yatra was started by Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri was a pure devotee of the Lord. He appeared 600 years back. 600 years back. And while traveling, Lord Chaitanya, when he was traveling to Jagannath Puri, in between when he came to Remuna, then he started glorifying Madhavendra Puri to Nityan Prabhu and talking about this Leela. And this Leela is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. So here, uh, Madhavendra Puri, his speciality is that he was the guru of Advait Acharya and Ishwara Puri. So, who was Advait Acharya? Who was Advait Acharya? Anyone knows? Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the so Advait Acharya was a yeah. So he was Sadashiv, but he was one of the close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Panchatatvas, right? The five people in Panchatattva. Who are they? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, Advait Acharya, Srivas Thakur and Gadar Pandit. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, Nityan Prabhu is Balram, Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, and fourth is Gadar Pandit is Radharani, and fifth Srivas Thakur is Narad Muni, right? So these five people, out of which Advaita Acharya was his disciple and Ishwara Puri was his disciple. So greatness of Ishwara Puri is that he served Madhavendra Puri in such a menial way, very wonderfully, that the Lord was so pleased with him that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, when he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became the disciple of Ishwara Puri. So Ishwarapuri was the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri, he comes in the Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya. In the in the Brahma Madhava Sampradaya. In the Brahma Sampradaya, there are four Sampradayas of where which preach about the devotion to Krishna, out of which we have fallen in the Brahma Sampradaya. And in the Brahma Sampradaya, Madhavendra Puri appeared as one of the Acharyas, so it's called Brahma Madhava Sampradaya. And in that Sampradaya, Madhavendra Puri was a disciple of Lakshmi Tirth Pati. Huh? And Lakshmi Tirth Pati also had another disciple who was Nityanand Prabhu, who was his god brother. So Nityanand Prabhu used to always, when he meet Madhavendra Prabhu, he used to consider him, give him respect as a senior. So Lakshmi Tirth Prabhu, so he came in this Gaudiya Madhav Sampradaya. Gaudiya Brahma Sampradaya, Brahma Madhava Sampradaya. And he is the person who first showed the ecstasies of conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. The prema bhakti, the love in separation, which is the topmost love which anyone can develop, which Radharani develops for Krishna. That prema, he developed the symptoms of those ecstasies. He is the one who first demonstrated that. And then Ishwara Prabhu and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that branch of Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, he forms another branch within that called Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So that Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya branch, the founder or the start is with Madhavendra Puri, then comes Ishwara Puri, then comes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of us, right? So that is the glory of Chaitanya, of Madhavendra Puri, that he is the one who introduced this Viraha Bhav, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited, which Krishna did not understand. Why Radharani is so much, he feels such pleasure. So to experience that, the devotional ecstasies of Radharani, Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That bhav was first exhibited by Madhavendra Puri. So it's very, very special. Hmm. So this Madhavendra Puri was traveling in Vrindavan. He was traveling in Vrindavan and going to see various holy places. And he stopped at Govind Kund, and had his bath there. And in front of the Govind Kund, below a tree, he sat down and he was chanting the holy name of Krishna. And Madhavendra Puri was such a person that he was a Paramhamsa. Hmm. He was a Paramhamsa. Paramhamsa means which who had a Ajgar Vritti. Ajgar Vritti. A Paramhamsa who had Ajgar Vritti. So what is Ajgar Vritti? Paramhamsa is the topmost level of sannyas. And in case the person who has a Ajgar Vritti, a python, the mood of a python is what he does. He just opens his mouth. Huh? And when the python opens his mouth, the prey walks in his mouth and then he eats it. Huh? So, which is also called ayachita vritti for the Paramahamsas. So, ayachita vritti is that Paramahamsa sannyas will never do any madhukari. He will not go out for madhukari. If anyone gives him any food, then he will eat it. Otherwise, he will go without eating. So, such is the dependence of Krishna, dependence on Krishna of these sannyasis. So, can you imagine that if we wake up in the morning and they will not ask food at home. If my wife asks, then I will have it. We'll not do that also in our home, right? We'll ask, "अरे मेरे को जाना है ऑफिस जाना है प्रसाद दो." So even at home we cannot do it, and he was doing it. So he was from the morning he had not eaten anything, and suddenly a wonderful cowherd boy he appeared. So a cowherd boy appeared. He was so beautiful, and he said, "Oh, who are you? Oh, great sannyasi. And it looks like you are fasting today. Why are you not doing any madhukari?" So this Madhavendra Puri was astonished. He said, "Who are you? And from where are you from? And how do you know that I am fasting?" So this boy says, "I am from this nearby village. And some of the women of this village, they came to take water and they saw you. So they told me that this person is fasting and they give me this pot of milk for you. For you. So just take this pot of milk because in our village, no one is allowed to fast. You should have this milk." So Madhavendra Puri said, "Okay, so I will have this milk now. I've got it, right?" So he started for the milk. And then the boy said, "No, no, I have to tend to a few cows. I'll come back for the pot." So he went away. So the boy went away. And then Madhavendra Puri tasted that milk. Huh? So he had never tasted anything as beautiful before that milk. Huh? So he tasted that milk, and then finally he did chanting, and then night came. He was still under the tree in front of Govind Kund, and he fell asleep. And in his dreams, he saw the same boy. The same boy appeared, and he took Madhavendra Puri by the hand and said, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, I am Gopal. Huh? And I reside here." He took them nearby to a bushes, and I reside here in these bushes, and I am suffering from rain, heat, cold. Huh? I am just waiting for you. Hmm? He said, I am just waiting for you to discover me. Huh? I am the deity of Gopal. Please get all the villagers, discover me, take me out of this and put me on top of Govardhan, build a small temple, nice temple, and worship me. And put a lot of beautiful water abhishek on me. Do a lot of water abhishek on me because I am dirty after all these years. No? And so this is given very beautifully in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll just read that. Gopal says, बहुदिन तोमार पथ करी निरीक्षण कबे आसी माधव आमी करीबे सेवन. For many days I have been observing you and I have been wondering when will Madhavendra Puri come here to serve me. And the next verse is very very important for all of us. Please listen to it carefully. Gopal says in his dream, तोमार प्रेम वसे करी सेवा अंगीकार दर्शन दिया निस्तारी बा सकल संसार. I have come here to accept your service due to your ecstatic love for me. And thus I shall appear, and by my audience, all the fallen souls will be delivered. So that's why the Lord appears. Why appears? To reciprocate with the love of His devotees and to have mercy on us, fallen souls like us, to deliver by His darshan. That is why Gopal has appeared. If you see, actually, how insignificant we are. So, in this universe, entire universe, there are so many planets. And in each planet, there are billions of jivatmas. Like when I'm talking to you right now, in one square cubic, huh, there are maybe millions of bacteria and all. They are all jivatmas. And in their heart, the Lord is there. And out of these millions of jivatmas, we are just one of them. We are also bacteria sometime. Now we have become a human being. Huh? We feel that, and that one, in spite of being insignificant, the Maya is so strong that we feel that we are so significant. मैं कितना ग्रेट हूँ. So everyone is fighting for his ego, for his man, samman. But the Lord is so significant. But just for that insignificant jiva, he comes with us as Paramatma. When we do some devotional service, he encourages us. He personally reciprocates with us. So here, I just wanted to talk about this reciprocation of the Lord. It's a very important point. So it was there for Madhavendra Puri, right? So I have got a question. Does Lord reciprocate with us? No or yes? He reciprocated with the pure devotees. Yes. People are saying yes. Huh? So how does he reciprocate with us? How does he reciprocate with us? Yeah, you can. He reciprocates with you. Yes, it's correct. Perfect. He reciprocates with everyone. So how does he reciprocate with us? Huh? Okay, yes, that is a reciprocation. Of course, that's a reciprocation of the Lord. No, He has formed this whole material world and the karma cycle. And the whole purpose of this universe is what? To bring us back to Godhead with Him. That's the whole purpose. We are suffering in this material world, but that whole thing, the Lord appears in various leelas and gets His devotees to get us back to Him. He has orchestrated this whole world for us to finally understand that Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnera Nitya Das. That is the whole purpose. So, yes, that's karma. What else? How does He reciprocate with us? Yes. Huh? Wow. Wonderful. Who gave that? You gave that answer, right? So, He reciprocates with us like He has reciprocated with me and all of you. by giving the association of his devotees. That is the most rare gift which Krishna can give. When Krishna is extremely happy with anyone, or he wants to give his choicest, topmost mercy to anyone, he gives the association of his devotees. So it's like a priceless diamond, hmm, uh, which we have got, the association of devotees. Why? Why is it priceless diamond? What happens by association of devotees? We can get Krishna Prem, right? We can get the mercy of Krishna and Krishna Prem. So, uh, devotees are the distributors of Krishna Prem. Krishna doesn't give directly. Usually, usually he gives Krishna Prem through his devotees. That's why Krishna's incarnation, who is Mahavadanaya, the most merciful incarnation of Krishna is whom? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he has accepted the mood of his topmost devotee, who is Srimati Radharani. Hmm? So yes, he gives association of devotees. What else? Anyone? Yes, he gives the guru in our life. Perfect. Very good. He gives guru in our life. Then he comes as Paramatma. He comes as Paramatma in our stays with us through all the cycles of living entity, birth, death, which we undergo. Huh? Then he helps us when we are in difficulties. As devotees, when we are difficulties, suddenly devotees come to help. We pray intensely, and we get the presence of Krishna. We can feel the presence of Krishna. So here I just recollect a very nice story which one devotee had told me. Um, uh, Around 20-25 years back, I had gone to a Rath Yatra with Dayal Chandra Prabhu. Now Dayal Chandra Prabhu is a senior devotee, he is a counselor of Radha Gopinath temple, and every year he goes for Rath Yatra. So I used to go every year with him and his group for Rath Yatra, and there I met a devotee, and I was just talking to him. How did you come in devotion? That devotee is even there even now. So he said, how I came in devotion is very amazing. He said that I had just got introduced to some devotees and I was not very serious about it. So once I had gone for with my wife, with my child, my boy, he had a boy, son. He had gone to a swimming pool. Swimming pool में गया था, and I was swimming and I was with my wife, and we were talking. And suddenly someone shouted, "अरे बच्चा डूब गया, बच्चा डूब गया!" So we went to see who is that child. And when they brought out the child, it was my child. Said my wife fainted. Udhar ka udhar. And there I did not know what to do. My child was just about to die. My son was about to die. He was gasping. And that time I just prayed to Krishna. भगवान कुछ भी करो लेकिन मेरे बच्चे को बचा लो. I prayed intensely to Krishna. And by God's Krishna's grace, this child was saved. Uske baad he said, I directly joined the devotees and became a Krishna devotee, and he's still a Krishna devotee. So that was the wonderful reciprocation. As I remember in this about reciprocations, yeah, Krishna reciprocates in amazing ways to get us to devotion. So sometimes he reciprocates by our devotees do book distribution. Suddenly a book comes in front of us. I came by book distribution. I was going Bombay, Pune. I was working in Pune, and Bombay to Pune, there was a major Tuli, करके, there was a devotee. Huh? Yeah, I forgot his name. Sundaran bro, correct, correct. And he gave me the book, small book, 10 rupees book, and I came to Radha Gopinath. So devotees come in our life, or some incidents happen, which brings Krishna brings us back to him, and then he gives his mercy by he received by what? When we deviate. So when we come to Krishna conscious, is a one-way tunnel. You go back, Krishna doesn't let you go. He sends devotees to ask you, please come, please come, please come. Otherwise, there is a slap. Sometimes you'll get a slap. So if you don't come by small slap, we'll give a big slap. So just see that you are in a one-way tunnel now. And at the other end of the tunnel, what is there? You come as pure devotee of Krishna. So you are under total protection of Krishna. So don't get scared. So you are under total protection of Krishna. That is something which I felt. No, when I started Krishna consciousness in 1996, I joined counseling group in 97. I felt protected suddenly. And there was a devotee in my office. He was practicing some other person who's in South, who is considered himself God, Krishna's incarnation. He said, ऐसा कैसे तेरे को होगा? How do you feel protection? तुम तो एक साल भी नहीं हुआ. I don't feel protection. वो 9-10 साल, but he was not feeling the protection. I felt, wow, it's Krishna consciousness is amazing. Na? Just you come to Krishna consciousness, you feel the protection and shelter of Krishna immediately. Huh? So, and he sends one test after another, one test after another. But that much test which we can pass if we are sincere and if we have faith. And he sends devotees when we are passing through the test to help us pass the test. So पेपर भी रखते हैं और पेपर पास करने का साधन भी देते हैं. हाँ, हम लोग कभी कभी बोलते हैं ना कि अरे मेरे को थोड़ा मार्क्स इधर का आ रहा था, तो जैसा पेपर आता है थोड़ा टफ लगा तो कृष्णा बोलते हैं डीओटी को भेजो, इसको हेल्प कर रहे हैं, ही गिव्स द गाइडेंस एंड द पेपर भी पास कराते हैं. सो दैट इज कृष्णा. So, so yes. So that is how Krishna reciprocates to us also. So, coming back to Madhavendra Puri and this Gopal, how was this Gopal deity? Uh, some background about this deity of Gopal. So, Gopal as a deity, one minute, I'll just check. Yeah. So, in Govardhan Lila, Krishna lifted the Govardhan, right? And Yudhishthir Maharaj, after that Govardhan Lila happened, Krishna left for the spiritual world, and Yudhishthir Maharaj was crowned as the emperor, and then he made Vajranabha as the king of Vrindavan. So who was Vajranabha? Vajranabha was the son or the grandson, the great grandson of Krishna. He was the grandson of Pradyumna, and who was Pradyumna? Pradyumna was the son of Rukmini and Krishna. So this Vajranabha, when he was made king of Vrindavan, he built a lot of temples in Vrindavan on various leelas of Krishna. And one of the temple which was built was on this Govardhan Leela, and which was this, and this Gopal deity was he formed this Gopal deity. And over a period of many years, this happened 5,000 years back. For thousands of years, this deity was worshipped. And then suddenly, once what happened? The Mughals, the Mughals, they attacked. This deity was placed on top of Govardhan on Govardhan hill in a temple, and it was being worshipped. And suddenly the Mughals attacked, and because of that, the priest he hid this deity in the bush, and he ran away for his life, and that's how it stayed in the bush till Madhavendra Puri discovered the deity. Now Madhavendra Puri, then what he did is Madhavendra Puri then started worshipping the deity. He placed the deity on the Govardhan hill. He found a very wonderful temple. They did a abhishek by water, and suddenly all the villagers they got beautiful food items for the deities, and a wonderful storage was there for the food items. And every day they did Annakud festival. They celebrated Annakud festival every day, and then this happened for some few years. And then suddenly one night, again Gopal appeared in Madhavendra Puri's dream. And he said, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, I am still feeling the intense summer heat. Hmm? Please do something. I can depend only on you." So actually Gopal wanted to give service to Madhavendra Puri. So he said, "Please go to Orissa on Malaya hills and you get beautiful Chandan and get that Chandan for me and put it on the body. So I will become very cool." So immediately without thinking, Madhavendra Puri left for Jagannath Puri. So where was Madhavendra Puri? In Vrindavan. And he left for Jagannath Puri. Where is Jagannath Puri? In Orissa. And all the way he was walking. So such was his surrender. Radhanath Swami in his class says that he was not bothered for his life. What will happen to his life? Because it's very risky. You have to pass through Mughal provinces, Mughal territories, forests. He did not have any money. He did not have any servants. He did not have anything, but he had to go there and bring a big log of chandan for Gopal. But he just left everything. He was prepared to take any risk for Krishna. And this is very important, that his surrender for Krishna was so much, his love for Krishna was so much that he was ready to take any risk for Krishna. And for this pastime, I was reading a transcript of Giriraj Swami. So he was saying that Srila Prabhupada, he had similar love for Krishna. He had similar love for Krishna that he was ready to do anything for Krishna, any risk for Krishna. He said once in Calcutta temple in 1971, the Calcutta temple was formed, and the president, temple president of that, the Calcutta temple did not have many funds. So the temple president started business to collect funds. And when he was doing his business, he neglected the temple. So devotees were very unhappy. And when Srila Prabhupada came there in the temple, he said that all the devotees complained that this is a problem. And Srila Prabhupada, he was very compassionate, and he formed three. He put three officers, named three officers, and said you should hear them, write the minutes of meeting, and address it, and all that. But Gira Swami says at times he used to go in a different mood. He he said I always acted in a way that everything for Krishna and nothing for me. He told the devotees. He was compassionate. He's not that he neglected those. He addressed those managerially, but he said I always have this mood that everything for Krishna and nothing for me. This is the mood I have practiced. When I went through Jalduta at the age of 70, I have suffered two heart attacks. If I would have had third heart attack, I would have died. When I reached America, I had to pass through so many problems there in America. huh. But I always thought of everything for Krishna and nothing for me. So you should not be too much bothered about these problems and get defocused from Krishna consciousness. Do Krishna Katha, be Krishna conscious and resolve this issue. So that was the mood for Srila Prabhupada. So that was his surrender. So Giraj Swami says that his surrender was similar on the lines of Madhavendra Puri. That's what Giraj Swami tells us. So Madhavendra Puri now started for Jagannath Puri. And when he was on his way to Jagannath Puri, he reached the outskirts of Orissa and he reached Remuna. And Remuna is where the deity of Gopinath is there. So this Gopinath deity is in Remuna, and it also has a wonderful story that a king of Orissa he founded this. He found this deity in Chitrakoot. He had gone for increasing his empire, and in Chitrakoot he got this deity. It appeared in his dream, and he brought this Gopinath here. And this Gopinath was personally carved by none other than Lord Ram. Lord Ram had personally carved him on a single stone. And when Sita asked him what this deity is, he said, "No, in my next yuga, I will be coming in this form of Krishna." So that deity he brought. And while he was coming back to his kingdom, on the way he stopped in Remuna and he put the deity there. And next morning, we want to take the deity, that deity wouldn't move. And the deity appeared in his name said, "This is the spot where I want to be." So that deity in Remuna of Gopinath is very special. And Madhavendra Puri, when he reached there, he was in ecstatic love. He was feeling ecstatic love for the deity, and he danced in the courtyard in front of that deity of Gopinath. And he had heard about the wonderful kheer, which was there in Remuna. It is called Amrit Keli because it tastes just like Amrit. So Maharaj had taken a yatra there. Anyone was there in that yatra where Kirchor Gopinath? So I was also not there, but devotee told me that they did a wonderful kirtan there. And finally, Maharaj arranged for that wonderful Amrit Keli, that kheer, which was so tasty, and all devotees enjoyed it. I also been to Remona. It's a wonderful temple, and I also tasted that Amrit Keli. huh. It's very beautiful, amazing. So Madhavendra Puri had just talked to the priest and said, "What kind of prasad you offer?" So he heard about this Amrit Keli, and so it was wonderful in taste. And in the evening, that Amrit Keli was being offered to Gopinath. And there are 12 pots in which the Amrit Keli is put, and it was taken and offered to Gopinath. And at that time, Madhavendra Puri just thought for a moment. Madhavendra thought for a moment that if I could taste this, I can prepare similar kheer for Gopal. Just see. Just by tasting that kheer, he had the capability to prepare a similar kheer for Gopal. Such was his love for Krishna. So he said, if I can taste it, I will prepare similar kheer for Gopal. And then he suddenly felt, what? Lord is not yet eaten this. Huh? This is bhoga being offered. How can I think about this? He felt very ashamed. Huh? And by that time, the kheer was offered and the pots were taken away. And the kirtan started. The arati started. And he attended the arati and he immediately left the place. He said, no, this is not the right thought. And he left and went to the marketplace. Here the pujari came, he took the kheer, and then at night they closed the doors of Gopinath temple, and then pujari went to sleep. And in his dream, this Gopinath appeared, and he said, "Oh, oh pujari, please note that I have got a very wonderful devotee who has come here. He's a sannyasi by the name of Madhavendra Puri, and for him I have kept, personally stolen and kept a kheer. Huh? Out of those 12 pot, one pot I have kept behind the curtain, behind my back. Huh? Huh? So I have stolen it for him. So Pujari woke up. He suddenly felt this dream looked so real. So he woke up, took a bath, and at night he went there. He opened the doors and he went inside. And behind he saw was the kheer pot. He jumped in ecstasy. He said, wow, this Lord Gopinath has stolen this kheer for this person, Madhavendra. He must be some great devotee of Krishna. And he suddenly left that temple and started searching for Madhavendra Puri. And he searched Madhavendra Puri in the marketplace. Oh, Madhavendra Puri, where are you? Where are you? And so that is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely. So I'm just reading that verse because it's very auspicious to hear the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So here the Pujari says, Shir Laha Eyar Nama Madhava Puri Toma Lagi Gopinath Shira Kaila Churi. Holding the pot of sweet rice, the priest called, will he whose name is Madhavendra Puri please come and take this pot? Gopinath has stolen this pot of sweet rice for you. And then he said, Shiralana sukhe tumi karah bhaksane Toma sama bhagyavana nahi tribhuvane. Priest continued, would the sannyasi whose name is Madhavendra Puri please come and take this pot of sweet rice and enjoy the prasadam with great happiness? You are the most fortunate in the three worlds because Gopinath has stolen this for you. So he was searching for Madhavendra, and when Madhavendra heard this, he introduced himself and came in front of the priest and said, and the priest told the whole story that how Gopinath has reciprocated. Hearing this, Madhavendra was very grateful. He went into ecstasy. He took that kheer and tasted it. It was like nectar. And seeing Madhavendra Puri and seeing the exalted position of Madhavendra Puri, the priest offered dandavats to him. And the purport Srila Prabhupada writes that the Brahmana actually need not offer dandavat. The priest was a Brahmana and he need not offer dandavat to anyone. But he realized that this was a Vaishnava of the highest caliber. So he offered dandavats. And he said that this Brahmana was on the same platform as Madhavendra Puri because Gopinath also appeared in his dream. So he was also in the same platform. So he realized that this person is a pure devotee of Krishna and he offered his dandavats. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. So after this, Madhavendra Puri tasted that wonderful kheer, and he tasted the wonderful kheer, and then he broke the pot into various pieces, very small, small pieces. Put it in his cloth, and every day he eat a small fraction of that pot. And immediately, what he did? How do pure devotees behave? It's very, very amazing. Immediately, Madhavendra Puri, what he did? He understood. Now this pujari will tell everyone. Everyone will come for my darshan. I'll become very famous. So he wanted to become a simple. He was very simple. He had nothing to do with fame. He immediately left Remuna for Jagannath Puri. Why? To bring that Chandan. So this is the mood of the pure devotees that they just want to serve. They don't want any fame. And Srila Prabhupada writes in his purports, he writes that when a person out of humility does not desire fame, then people think of him as humble and consequently give him all kind of fame. He doesn't desire fame, but people give him all kind of fame. So when Madhavendra Puri left Remuna, running from the fame, every village he went on the way to Jagannath Puri, everyone already knew about him. When they came, they celebrated Madhavendra Puri. They honored him. Just what he did not want, he got all that. Because Krishna wants to honor his devotees, right? Krishna wants, but devotee doesn't want any honor. He wants to give all glories to others. So, seeing that from village to village, Madhavendra Puri finally reached Jagannath Puri. And when he reached Jagannath Puri, he had the wonderful darshan of Jagannath and he went into spiritual ecstasy, seeing Jagannath. And since there also everyone knew about Madhavendra Puri, his fame has already reached. So devotees came, Jagannath Puri servants came in touch with him. And then he told this story about Gopal. Hmm. But before that, this devotee not hankering for fame or position, labha pratishtha. These are subtle things which come to us in devotional service. We after few years we do some services because we are there in devotion, so we have to do some services, so we get recognized for the services, we get praise, then we get attached to this labh and pratishtha, which are subtle lust, which is called subtle lust. So we should be very careful about this, of position and pratishtha. It comes in this very subtle way. Then you get envy towards other devotees. अरे उसको कैसा मेरे को नहीं मिला, comparison competition happens in devotional service. So I remember a very nice story here, which I heard in Gopinath about Radhath Maharaj. I don't know who told it, but when Radhath Maharaj, uh, his interaction with Bhakti Charu Swami, Radhath Maharaj was in New Vrindavan and he was milking the cows as a brahmachari, and he was doing the DT service and he was very happy there. And then he came to here Bombay, and then he came to Gopinath, and this wonderful congregation came up by his mercy and by his efforts and by his grace. This Radha Gopinath congregation came up, and then once he was offered the position of a GBC, and when he was offered a position of the GBC, he was not very comfortable, and he really revealed his heart to Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He said that I was very happy being a simple devotee, in New Vrindavan, milking the cows. I never wanted in this position. I was not ever wanted this position. But somehow this position of a GBC, which is the topmost body, General Body Commission of ISKCON, is the topmost body of 15, 20 people, sannyasis and some grahasthas, who run this entire ISKCON. So he was offered a post there in the General Body Commission of ISKCON. So he said, but now I have offered this post and I'm not too happy. I mean, he was not very comfortable. So hearing this, Bhakti Charu Swami became very happy. He said that ISKCON needs leaders like you who are not interested in any position. So you should take up that position. And then so Radha Swami confided his heart and he took that position of the GBC and is serving as a GBC. So the devotees are very happy serving the Lord, and they are not after any position because they are already occupying, the pure devotees already occupying the topmost position. And what is the topmost position? They are having the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotee of Krishna. So when that mood is there, you are in the topmost position which you can ever get, and you are not interested in any material positions. So this is what I recollect. So yes, he reached Jagannath Puri, and he told the sevaks of the Lord. He told the sevaks of the Lord that yes, Gopal appeared in my dream and he wants Chandan. So they all approached the authorities of Jagannath Puri and they got the Chandan. So it is said the Chandan was 82 pounds. 82 pounds means 40 kilos, right? 40 kilos. And they gave camphor of 20 tolas, which is 80 ounces. And someone told me 16 ounces is 1 pound. So 5, 6 pounds of camphor, and they gave a brahmana and a servant with him, and they gave all the authority letters for him to cross different kingdoms to reach Jagannath Puri, so to reach Vrindavan. And then so he got everything which he wanted, and he actually wanted to go away from Jagannath Puri. Because he didn't want this fame and name and all. He wanted to run away. But since he had a service, he tolerated all that puja, la, pratishtha. He had to tolerate it, and we enjoyed. right? Right, but he had to tolerate it, uh, and he tolerated it, and he left for uh, Vrindavan. So here on the way again he came to Remuna, and again he had a wonderful darshan of Gopinath, and he met the pujari who again offered him what he offered him, Amrit Keli, huh? And then he slept there, and in his dream again Gopal appeared. Hmm? And Gopal said that, oh Madhavendra Puri, huh? This Gopinath is non different than me. Huh? He's the same as me. So this Chandan which you want to apply to me, you apply to him, and my body will become cool. Huh? So you apply to him, and my body will become cool. Huh? So Madhavendra Puri woke up, and he told to the pujaris and the authorities there, and they all were very happy. And they took the Chandan and the camphor, and they made a wonderful paste of the Chandan, and daily they applied the Chandan to Gopinath, and Gopal was very happy. And that's how this Chandan Yatra, first Chandan Yatra of this Brahma Madhava Gaude Sampradaya started. Was done by Madhavendra Puri in reciprocation for his love for Gopal. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purports a very amazing thing. Srila Prabhupada writes that that time traveling through the provinces of India, going back to Vrindavan with the Chandan was very risky. Huh? So Gopal was very concerned about Madhendra Puri. And so he arranged that tum udari Chandan lagao, I'll be happy. So this is how the Lord reciprocates with his devotees. He gives him a service. He arranges for the Chandan himself, and then he gets a bit concerned and says, okay, now you apply there only. Huh? And Remuna is also called as Gupta Vrindavan. It's known as Gupta Vrindavan. So Madhavendra Puri stayed there. He did this Chandan Yatra till the end of that Chandan got over. And finally, he stayed in Remuna, and that's where he passed away, went back to Godhead. In the Remuna, there is a very nice samadhi of Madhavendra Puri. His chappals are also there. His chappals. So when I had been to Remuna, I saw near the temple only that samadhi is there, and outside the temple there's a nice small lake where the waters are beautiful. So, so it's a very wonderful place, and there is a ISKCON temple. Huh? Earlier there was no temple in Remona. 4 years back, 5 years back when I went there, ISKCON temple was a very small center with only a ground floor. It was there, but they had a prasad, a nice prasad. Most important, right, for us. We don't have Ajgar Vutti. First we think without kanda lasun prasad किधर मिलेगा? अपना कैसे रहता है? So they had prasad. Wonderful brahmachari from Radha Gopinath only. He was there, and they were building a new temple there. So 4 years have passed. No, they must have built a beautiful temple. So if you go to Remuna, you will have, there are hotels also, but there you have a temple. You will have, you can stay there in ISKCON temple, visit Madhavendra Puri Samadhi, beg for him for mercy, and see the wonderful deity of, and the deity after that became, was called what? Kheer Chor Gopinath. So to glorify the devotee of Madhavendra Puri, the Lord stole the kheer, and from that day onwards, that Gopinath deity is called Kheer Chor Gopinath. So Prabhupada writes in purport, usually when someone steals anything, what happens? Goes to jail. Huh? You run away from the country, government goes, tracks you there and puts, comes you back. So Nero, what is Nero? Wow, I forgot his name. So it comes back and put in jail. But here, the Lord steals the kheer, and it becomes glorious. People are talking about it, and we are discussing about it and enjoying it and relishing it. So that's the Kirchor Gopinath. That's the story there. So something about Madhavendra Puri before I go to the next thing. It's almost, yeah. So Madhavendra Puri, during his end uh, end Lila, he used to sing a specific verse, which is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That verse I have written here. Ay Deena Dayadra Nath He Mathura Nath Kadava Lokya Se Hridayam Tvad Aloka Katram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomi Aham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? So this Madhavendra Puri was singing this verse. And this verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that only three people know the meaning of this verse or understand the mood of this verse or could experience this verse. One was Madhavendra Puri, second was Srimati Radharani, and third was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one else. So this is the mood when Srimati Radharani is saying this verse. This verse is said by Srimati Radharani. She is feeling the intense ecstasies of separation from Krishna, and those feelings he's singing this verse, and those feelings were experienced by Madhavendra Puri. So you should know what level of devotee he was. By Radharani's grace, Srimati Radharani's grace, he could experience the same ecstasies of separation, and he understood the meaning of this verse. So this Madhavendra Puri was a very exalted person, from which our sampradaya, branch of our sampradaya comes, whom whose disciple Ishwarapuri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his own guru. So we are fortunate to be in such a sampradaya of Brahma sampradaya of Lord Brahma, Madhavacharya, Madhavendra Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the only objective of all these acharyas are what? Uh, to give all of us Krishna. All we have to do is go in front of them and please beg for Krishna. Krishna prem, mercy of Krishna. That's all we have to do. They are ready there to give. It's up to us to ask. So the last point I'm coming it that now this is Chandan Yatra is starting from tomorrow. So what should we do? Hmm, What should we do? So tomorrow is also Akshaya Tritiya, right? So first thing is whoever is possible go to the temple and take darshan of the Lord. Firstly, in our temple of Radha Gopinath, there is a Gopalji deity also. Somehow the name is, I was just thinking about it. Somehow I found the name is also Gopinath and Gopalji also there. Both are there. Gopinath bhi hai, Gopalji bhi hai. And they put the wonderful Chandan on the Gopalji deities. They put Chandan on the Utsav Murtis of Radha Gopinath who are called Radha Gopijana Vallabh on the Krishna of Radha Gopijana Vallabh, and also on the Shaligram Shila. The name of the Shaligram Shila is Janardan. So on Janardan also they put the Chandan. So Maharaj was saying in this lecture that the whole purpose of putting Chandan on the Lord is that he feels cool in this Vaishak, month of Vaishak, which is summer. And when the Lord feels cool and he feels happy, by seeing him happy, we become happy. And when we see the Lord and when we become happy, the Lord becomes happy. And when the Lord becomes happy, we become more happy. And sometimes if you go to the Lord and you are not happy, then act happy. If you act happy, then Lord will become happy and then you will become happy. Right? So when you apply Chandan on the Lord will become cool. And you will also feel cool in your heart, cool from the forest fire of this material existence, samsara dava nalalidha loka, Tarnaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. Spiritual master gives us mercy, rain cloud of mercy. So you will get that mercy of the Lord when you take the darshan of Gopal with the Chandan, take the darshan of the deity of Radha Gopijana Vallabh with the Chandan. So all you have to do is go. And if you remember the verse, which when Gopal appeared, what did he say? He said, I'm just repeating that what Gopal said. In CC, what is given? Gopal said that to Madhavendra Puri in his dream, I have come here to accept your service due to your ecstatic love for me. And thus I shall appear, and by my audience, that is just by my darshan, all fallen souls will be delivered. He will deliver all fallen souls. This is what Gopal has promised, told Madhavendra Puri. So we just have to go to Gopinath, take the darshan of Gopal. If you cannot go, take darshan on the net. Devotees are very kind. You can have the darshan on the net. Akshaya Tritiya, you do some devotional service here, read something, hear something, and you will get unlimited benefit. Akshay Patra, unending, eternal, unlimited benefit. Give some donation. Charity is highly recommended. Give some charity in Akshay Tritiya. And pray to the Lord Gopal. What we can pray after hearing this story? What we can pray is this. We can pray to Gopal. Firstly, you thank the Lord. I am telling from the story perspective. For all this, He has given to us materially and spiritually. Material also, He has given us decent wealth. We are all from good. We have got the wealth. We have got our good children. We have got parents come from a good family. You have got our flats. You have got our business. You have got your job. huh? Whatever you have got, your health. You can walk. You can talk. You can speak. Be grateful. Thank the Lord, Gopal, for that. And mainly for the spiritual gifts, the association of devotees, the most rarest treasure He has given you. So please pray to Gopal, to Radha Gopinath, and thank them for them. And then you can beg Gopalji, beg on especially tomorrow's day, start of Chandan Yatra. Think about Madhavendra Puri and beg him that we can develop the surrender to our Guru, following the footsteps of people like Srila Prabhupada, Madhavendra Puri. And Giriraj Swami writes a very wonderful thing. I just recollected that Prabhupada surrender, everything for Krishna and nothing for me. And he says, at that time, all of us had all the similar surrender. Though we did not have that realization which Prabhupada had, by Prabhupada's mercy and by his presence, we also had the same mood. Everything for Krishna, nothing for me. So we should pray that we increase our surrender to the Lord, to our gurus, and develop the Guru Nishtha, hmm, and that we don't get attached to the name, fame, la, pratishtha which comes from devotional service. And we should pray that, like Madhavan Puri please the Lord, we should be able to please the devotees of the Lord and our Guru Maharaj. So we can pray this to the Lord and to Madhavendra Puri tomorrow. Wherever you are, if you go to the temple, it's wonderful. If you don't go, take advantage. These especially auspicious things which come, auspicious yatras which we do, Chandan Yatra, we start the festivals, they come with tons of mercy. But to access that mercy, we should have that consciousness and we should be begging for that mercy. Then we will get it. And that's why when we discuss about these kathas, discuss about those pure devotees who have that, then we get inspired to have the darshan, to beg for the Lord, and that's how we get the mercy. So it's by the association of devotees we get the mercy. So this is what was all about Chandan Yatra. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we have Kirtan 10 minutes. Na? So when we are having this Kirtan, please think about Gopal, the one who lifted the Govardhan, and pray to him for his mercy. Pray to him that we can develop the surrender. Yeah. Okay, questions. Anyone has any questions? I was just thinking about the times. Yeah, correct.
So many people in Mumbai who they don't come to temple. They know about the existence of ISKCON over this, like this katha over here. So isn't it our free will or is it the Lord's mercy you've come? It's our free will, right? Isn't it?
See, actually, for us to get the association of devotees is Lord's mercy. Hmm. And even He inspires us to accept that. But finally, it's also the free will. Once you have the association of devotees, it's your will whether you want to stay there or move out, right? So you can always, Lord has given you free will and you can always exercise it and you can move out. So it's up to us how seriously we understand the grace which we have got from the Lord. How grateful we are for that grace. So if we are not grateful, we'll be grateful, right? Not grateful, we'll be grateful. I mean, there's no two ways. You have to accept one or two. Which one, which side you want. So we be grateful for the mercy of the Lord. And whatever these people here in Thakur village are making these programs, all we have to do is just attend them. Just be together. Prabhupada has built a ship and the ship is taking us back to Godhead. हमारा काम क्या है वो शिप पे रहो उधर से जंप मत मारो समुद्र में हाँ, संसार दावा जो अपना क्या ओशियन ऑफ मटेरियल एग्जिस्टेंस में जंप मत मारो बी विद द डिवोटीज ऑन द शिप one friend when I'd come to Krishna consciousness One friend had told me this analogy. Huh? तुम्हें क्या करना है? He said that when you go in Bombay train ना, उसमें train बोला, all you have to do is stand in front of the door. Someone will push you inside. Correct? And you have to stay there and the train will reach its destination. तो तुमको ऐसे ही करना है, भक्तों के संग में आना है, and they will push you towards Krishna. Just be with the association of devotees. You be on the ship of Srila Prabhupada, and that ship will carry us to the lotus feet of Krishna by the mercy of devotees. So that's what. So that is our free will. You don't jump, right?
Can you throw some light on the Sri Gopalji deities in Vrindavan? What happened to in Govardhan?
So I mean, throw some light in what sense?
What happened to that deities and how it came into Nadwar? It was there, not the
No,
same.
no. The Gopalji it is still there. I think on Vrindavan. My understanding is it's still there in Vrindavan. That Gopalji which was revealed to uh,
Madhavendra Puri.
Madhavendra Puri, it's still there. My understanding is that. But people can correct me. I don't have that foolproof understanding. To be fair, anyone knows, they can correct. Acha. Acha. So that Nathwara Didi is that Gopal Didi. Okay, I didn't have that understanding. I did not read it anywhere. So good. Thank you for that question. I also got to know. Yeah.
Surrender is like, is there any character, I mean any points in surrender, like asking questions, or what is happening in our life we should accept it as a, and we have to move on. So I'm just a bit confused on the surrender part, so if you can explain
Yeah.
more on that.
As sadhakas, surrender is very simple for us. Whatever instructions are given by our guru, you follow it. Try your best to follow it. That is surrender. We have to struggle. So, first instruction which is given by Srila Prabhupada, to start with, let's at least do that, and show our surrender. The most important instruction given by Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj for me when I took initiation was chant the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Follow the four regulative principles: no meditating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. So many times in our enthusiasm that time we say, अरे इतना ही नहीं है वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है थ्रू आउट द लाइफ टाइम टू फॉलो इट बट इट बिकम्स वेरी सिंपल इफ यू आर एन एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटीज तो स्टार्ट विद दैट इज लाइक रीचिंग द बेस समिट हमको हिमालय जाना है तो माउंट एवरेस्ट में विच इज समटाइम्स वी फील इनिशियल मिल गया तो हो गया या आई हैव अचीव्ड बट दैट इज लाइक रीचिंग द बेस ऑफ माउंट एवरेस्ट ऊपर क्लाइम बाकी है पूरा टू फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑफ गुरु महाराज दैट इज द मोस्ट बेसिक इंस्ट्रक्शन वी नीड टू स्टार्ट विथ to show our surrender and get full mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And then Acharyas have given instructions in Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, which our Guru Maharaj says in the lectures. We follow it. Try your best to follow it. That is how we express our surrender. And that's how you become most intimately bond with the spiritual master by following his instructions. This is what I have read. That you may have his physical association or he may not. Many of Prabhupada disciples never met Prabhupada, but they are so intimately connected with him because they are sincerely following his instructions for 45, 50 years. 65, 66 में पहले डिसेबल्स हुए ना 66, 67 कितना साल हो गया अभी 50, 60 years no yeah so they are following the instructions and that's how you surrender. Any other question? Yeah, yeah.
And I saw like they're constructing a temple and they were seeking donation. I tend to ignore it. Uh, there was a line below that when you make donation for temple construction, you get a chance to go to Vaikunta. And that what excited me to donate. So
Good.
how would you judge this feeling? I felt really sorry for myself. Like how selfish you could be just because you want to go to Vaikunta, you're now donating. But earlier you just tend to ignore like I didn't I wasn't encouraged to donate. So even tomorrow when you said, you will get multifold mercy, I'm now excited to donate. But earlier that thought didn't come to me. So I'm just feeling a little judgmental about myself in a wrong way. So if you could guide me,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah.
Thank you.
So that happens to me also. So when we hear about things, today morning I was discussing with our my friends. We have a Bhagavatam study circle. So these all friends are 27, 25 years in devotion, and tomorrow we are planning to meet somewhere in Borel National Park or somewhere in the park and chant together. No. So then we discussed about this Madhavendra Puri and this and discuss about the Akshay Tritiya and its benefits. Array, better we go to the temple because I mean then mercy is flowing. It's common sense that we have to accept the mercy. Huh? So it's common sense at our level. Sometimes we our bhakti may not be totally selfless as Madhavendra Puri. No, everything for Krishna, nothing for me. We want to progress in bhakti. Sometimes we want to progress financially. Sometimes we want good things, whatever. But with whatever intention you are increasing your devotion, slowly, slowly it get purified. Hmm? And you will do it just for the sake of pleasing the devotees and Krishna. So we'll come to that level. We are in the transition, right? From neophyte going to pure. It's a very big transition. So we will have our own anarthas, we'll have our own things. So devotees have this, no, when we hear about kathas, and many times you have these blessings given by acharyas. If you do this, you will get this. Huh? So we are inspired by those blessings, and whatever inspires me, yena kena prakare we come to Krishna, lotus feet. That is wonderful. So many times, sometimes you may not be even inspired. Some people may not be inspired to give donation even by reading that. बोला अरे कल ही तो दिया था आज वापस क्या देने का. So donation है उतना donation का भी हमारे काउंसिलिंग मीटिंग में अभी डिस्कशन हो रहा था. Very important for grahasthas. What are the important thing for grahasthas? Two things I am just telling, which we discussed. First thing is whatever you do, keep Krishna in the center. So we were discussing with my god brothers. Anand Vunapur once asked Maharaj, महाराज दिस ब्रह्मचारीज आर मेकिंग सच प्रोग्रेस हम लोग कैसे प्रोग्रेस करेंगे हम गृहस्थास है सो महाराज फॉर दैट क्वेश्चन इन दैट कंटेक्स्ट ओके ही सेड दैट if you are chanting your 16 rounds attentively, if you have deities in your home whom you are worshipping nicely, if you are reading bhagavatam huh, every day, and he said some one more thing I forgot, maybe association of Vaishnavas or something, then you will progress equally. So to encourage him. So most important thing, like the point I was saying is grahas are two things: keep Krishna in the center by these four things, and secondly, grahastha means giving. Grahastha ashram means giving. You give knowledge, you give charity, you give your efforts. Huh? So grahastha ashram means ashram of attachment. So when you give charity and give, you develop the detachment. So that is a must for grahasthas. And how much should you give? Huh? 10% 5% 15% 20%. हाँ, तो उसका एक सिंपल फिलोसफी बोला है कि गिव टिल एटलीस्ट टिल द टाइम यू फील द पिंच अरे जा रहा है थोड़ा तुम 1 करोड़ कमा रहे हो और 1 लाख दे रहे हो यू विल नॉट फील द पिंच साल का बट तुम देर आर पीपल लाइक सम पीपल लाइक राधा गिरिधर प्रभु हु गिव 50% of his business earnings to Krishna. Such devotee is also there. That is the topmost level. That is the standard. 50% देने का और स्टैंडर्ड को रीच करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है स्टार्ट विद समथिंग एंड शुड फील द पिंच थोड़ा पिंच लगना चाहिए दैट्स इट थैंक यू वन मोर या गोल्ड या
So is it advisable to buy gold and or maybe invest gold?
सो परीक्षित महाराज said that कल ही this is my understanding But this is a very tricky question, and my answer also may not be complete. Okay, but I am trying because I also invest in gold. But it is like no gold results in greed. So if you go after gold, is what? It's money. Finally, gold is money. If you go for money or for greed, then you are following Kali. Means you are getting into a trap of Kali. You're getting greedy, and such harm you can do now. People have done such harm for greed that such harm never happens for lust also. For greed, they for greed of new more land or greater kingdom, people have damaged, made so much. Hitler, for greed of authority, he killed so many Jews. So that greed, gold or money, is finally you don't have gold, but you go after money, right? Money is honey, right nowadays. Huh? So that's the thing, right? So, but when we come to devotion service, you understand in dovetailing that money in Krishna's service, and that is perfect. So if you are like Radha Giridhar Prabhu, you are earning to the best of your capacity to earn more money, money to use it in Krishna's service, then there is the perfection. No one is stopping you. Buy as much gold as you want and use it in Krishna's service. Right? Thank you. So while you're while we are doing this kirtan, just contemplate on Gopal, the wonderful deity of Gopal, the Giridhari Gopal, and beg for his mercy. Tomorrow, today, Sri Nanda Yashoda Dulhan Girivaradhari Gopal Nanda Yashoda Dulhan Girivaradhari Gopal Sri Nanda Yashoda Gulal Girivaradhari Gopal Nanda Gulal Girivaradhari Gopal 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 Shri Nanda Yashoda Dulha Girivaradhari Gopal Shri Nanda Yashoda Dulha Girivaradhari Gopal Shri Nanda Yashoda Dulha Girivaradhari Gopal Nanda Yashoda Dula Girivaradhari Gopal 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Nanda Yashoda Dulha Girivaradhari Gopal, Nanda Yashoda Dulha Girivaradhari Gopal, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna.